Well, I know the result wasn't what you wanted, but you have to be encouraged about the way your team played.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. You know, they played hard for 60-plus minutes. There's a lot to build on. Like,
right.
Losing, as you know, losing is not good, but there's a lot of positives to take out of the game, and then we have to correct the negatives. We got to tackle better. We have to take care of the ball. We got to try to get more takeaways, but there's a lot to build on.
Your quarterback, Dylan Lonergan.
Yeah.
ACC Quarterback of the Week.
Yeah.
This guy's putting up big numbers.
Yeah.
What do you like about him?
He's a very consistent guy, so he approaches each day in a similar way. He's got a great work ethic. He's a very bright guy. He comes from a great family. You got to give his parents a lot of credit.
What's his leadership like?
It's good. Look, he's not a very loud guy, but he definitely leads by example. They respect him. The team respects him because he shows up to work every day. Even last week, he showed up at practice. He practiced hurt. You know, he was going through something with his foot and things, and he went out there though and he grinded it out.
He played.
Yeah.
Do you like his poise?
I do, and I think that has to continue because the poise that you show at that position really helps your team, right? Because they don't see you panicking, so then they know they're in good hands, and I think that has to continue, which I believe it will. I think he's a very poised young man.
That's on offense. On defense,
Yeah.
Omar Thornton,
Yeah.
defensive back, ACC Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Boy, 2 Players of the Week on the same team,
Yeah.
the same week.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. But Thornton brings a lot to the table, doesn't he?
Thornton, he's just an awesome guy, like tough, quiet, very physical player, very smart player.
He's young, right?
Young guy. He played a little bit last year, more than a little bit, but we knew we had something there. He comes from Florida, has an awesome mom. She came over to the game at Michigan State. It was great to see her, but he's got a great future in football. You remember? Look, I hate to do this, but you and I, we've known each other.
Right.
So you remember a guy, Bob Sanders, who played for the Colts, was a great player. I look at this guy as that type of player. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but man, he packs a punch. So
he gets results.
Yeah, we got a really good player there. Yep.
The run game, still got to get that going.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
We have to do things coaching-wise to help it. The players need to execute a little bit better, but we've got to do things coaching-wise to help it. I don't think we're on the right – I think we're a different team than we were last year when it comes to the running game. And this year we have to figure that out a little sooner than we have. And so I think this week is big today. We got off to a good start with the running game, but, we have to fix that because we have to be more balanced. We can't throw the ball 60 times, 50 times in a game. If we have to do that, we'll do it, but we'd like to be more balanced, no doubt.
Next up, Stanford.
Yep.
They're 0-2.
Right.
What do you know about Stanford?
Tough game against Hawaii. They lost on the last play of the game, last second field goal, and then BYU, beat them pretty well. But, they made a lot of mistakes to help BYU. I'm sure Frank is cleaning that up. It's a tough trip, right? We got to fly out there. A lot of these guys have never flown that far to with the time change, the 3-hour difference, it better than anybody. You've been out there a million times. So, we have to educate these guys throughout the week on sleep, on hydration and nutrition and being ready to go. And then when we get out there, we've got to do a good job of making sure they get to bed at the right time and they get going on game day at the right time because it's a night game out there.
Right.
So it's the trip, it's the opponent. There's a lot that goes into it. It's a challenging week.
Well, you mentioned travel. You traveled well when you went out to Michigan.
Yeah.
Do you change the routine because it's a higher level of travel now, going all the way across the country?
I think you do a little bit, not too much. I mean, the basics are the basics, but it'll be a bigger plane, so it'll be a more comfortable trip out there. When we get out there, when we land, we're going to go to San Jose State, have a little walkthrough, have a mini practice right there. Not full out, obviously, but get them sweating a little bit. Then we'll go to the hotel, we'll have dinner, and then we'll get them to bed, right? We'll get them to bed, early on that night because at 9 o'clock it's really midnight, right? And so, we'll get them to bed, and then we'll get them up, breakfast, walk through, meet, and then be ready to go in the afternoon.
What day did you say you're leaving?
We're leaving Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Leaving Friday morning.
When you look at Stanford, Andrew Luck
Yeah.
is the general manager.
Yeah.
Frank Reich is the head. You got 2 quarterbacks there.
I know.
Right?
I
2
know.
quarterbacks, and yet they're having quarterback problems.
Yeah.
And Stanford.
Yeah.
Do you expect to see a different quarterback this week, or will they go with the same guy?
I don't know. I mean, 15 played both games. I mean, he did some good things. So I don't know. It'd be hard. I know Frank didn't commit to him, I guess, in the Monday press conference. But going back to Frank and Andrew, like I have a lot of experience from the AFC South
with
against
those guys.
Yeah, they got us a few times, we got them a few times, but they were a challenging duo to go against. So it'll be fun to see them.
What are your biggest concerns going into this game?
We got to run the ball better, and we got to tackle better.
Basics.
I think the basics. I really think if we can do that, if we can establish the running game, if we can tackle better, if we can eliminate, like I felt like we had 20. There were 178 plays in the Michigan State game total. There were 25 plays that I think we need to do better. We need to cut those down. That's bad. 25 bad football plays out of 178. We got to cut that down. It's not going to be perfect, but we've got to eliminate a lot of that bad football, and then we have to do as good a job as we can of taking advantage of the other team's bad football, and we got to do a better job of that.
When you mention those plays, those number of plays, do you actually practice those exact plays on the football field?
Some of them we do. I would say the big thing is we show it to them and explain to them why. Hey, look, this is why this went bad. We've got to do this. But some of it's coaching. We got to coach this better. We're all in it together. That's a big part of my message. Like I'm not pointing a finger at you. I'm looking in the mirror first. Some of it we can correct because on the practice field because it does carry over to this game. But big thing is showing it to them on tape.
Double overtime, that loss. The 2-point came down to 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As a head coach, how many times do you play that back in your mind?
Yeah.
Or do you just let that go and it's on to the next game?
No, I play it back. I mean, I think about it. You have decisions you got to make. You, as a head coach, you sit there all week and you're preparing for those decisions. So I'm very prepared. But then it's also getting a feel for the game and going back and looking at it. I chose to kick the extra point in the first overtime where I could have gone for 2. I don't look back at that. I don't regret that decision because I knew we were going to have to go for 2 in the second overtime. That's the rule.
Right. Wouldn't you normally kick it there? Isn't that the right thing?
Yeah, normally you would. But going back, thinking about how our defense was playing at that time, which was okay, not great, maybe you would go for 2 at the end of the first overtime. But, look, we did what we did,
right.
And Michigan State, did a little bit better than us.
How do you use that as motivation for this game?
I think there's a lot to be motivated about. I think that you can look at that game and you can think about, as a coach and a player, hey, what are the 4 or 5 things that I can do better that can carry over to this game? I think that's big. I think when you're in a game, I think Michigan State's a good football team, so I think it's a good barometer for us. I think they'll be pretty good in the Big Ten. So to go there, 80,000 people, and to fight like that in that environment, I think there's a lot to build on.
I know you're a college head football coach, but are you still watching the NFL? Do you have a peek?
I have it on in the background. I wouldn't be able to tell you I'm watching every play, but on Sundays I have it on in the background.
All right, man. Well, good luck.
Good to see you.
Good luck, man.
Thank you, Steve.
Takes you on the road, and then you got to buy after that, right?
Then a bye, yeah.